How y'all doing? This is Preacher Man R&B, and this is another episode of Retro TV 91, and this time I'm reviewing Game of Thrones Season 3, Episode 8. What happens on this week's episode, with Daenerys, she's going and trying to figure out how she's going to beat the city that she has to fight, and she sees the army that they got, and it's these guys that are army, they fight for money, and they're called the Second Sons. And there's three generals. There's the Titans bastard, there's another guy, and there's Daario Naharis. And she meets with them, and she wants them to join her, and the Titans bastard doesn't want to do this, and he still wants to fight her. So them three go off, and they choose coins to see who's going to kill her in her sleep, and Daario Naharis chooses the coin that's going to do it, that makes him have to do this. But what he does instead is he kills the Titans bastard and the other guy, and brings their heads to Daenerys and tells her that he wants to fight for her, and the Second Sons will as well. And that's all that happens with Daenerys. What's happening in King's Landing, Tyrion and Sansa had their wedding, and Joffrey's walks Sansa down the aisle and takes Tyrion's stool and is acting like a punk, like he always does. And they get married, and then they go off, and Tyrion's supposed to consummate the wedding. And he doesn't do this, and he tells her he would never lie in the bed with her unless she wants him to. And she asks him, what if she never wants him to? And he says, my watch has started. And that's him saying that he would never do nothing that she didn't want him to do. And that's all that happens with Tyrion and Sansa. What else is happening with Robert Baratheon's brother? He has found can't remember his name. No, that's not his name. It's Robert Baratheon's bastard that's been going around with Arya and traveling with her. And they find him, and Melisandre's tricking him and thinking that, making it look like she's going to do the same thing she did with Robert Baratheon's brother. But she doesn't. She gets these leeches and puts them on him. And they take the leeches off and throw them in the fire, and Robert Baratheon's brother says three names. He says Joffrey, he says Robb Stark, and he also says Balon Greyjoy. And in later episodes and later seasons, we'll find out what happens with that. And that's all that happens with Robert Baratheon's brother, Stannis. And what else is happening is, at the end of the episode, Samwell and Gilly is stayed up for the night because it's getting dark, and all these ravens start coming to the firewood tree, and a white comes and a white walker comes and is trying to get the baby, and Samwell hits him with a sword, but he just destroys the sword, and then Samwell gets his dragon glass and stabs him in the back and kills the white walker. And that's all that really happened on this week's episode. My questions for y'all is, now that we know Dragon Glass kills White Walkers, what's going to happen with that? As always, Preacher Man R&B signing out, guys. It's been another episode of Retro TV 91. See you next time.